When should you start letting go of your personal assets? That is, this is a follow up to what not to include in your estate plan, and it's a really good question. At what age was the question? Should you start giving away your things? And I don't think it's necessarily about age, but the stage of life you're in and the nature of the assets we're talking about. So we're going to give you some general guidelines as to what may make you consider starting to gift or donate items that you own over time. I'm Valerie Zammitti of Zammitti Law. We're an estate planning practice in New York and New Jersey, and we provide peace of mind to families through our high client value services. If you are seeking help in either the estate planning or administration area after someone's passing, we are happy to help provide free consultations, and you can reach us at yourplanningattorney.com. And speaking of value, we're also always here educating you and like to get your questions so that we know how we can best assist. Please don't forget to share so that together we can help some folks along the way. Now, first off, age obviously is a factor. Obviously, when you're building, your things in your, 20s, 30s, 40s, you're probably not going to start giving them away just yet. But 50s and 60s might be the first thoughts as to, what items of physical or even financial that you might want to start transitioning, especially if you've started or stopped using certain assets. I have this conversation all the time about with clients about like timeshares. There's such a struggle after you pass to do transitions of any kind that when you stop using a timeshare, make sure you sell it back, gift it, do whatever's going to make sense for you, but transition that asset. There could be things like collectibles or personal items that you just don't use anymore, and either your kids are going to get value out of it and you want to transition to them, kids, family, friends, what have you, or would be better off donated. So I do think that, there are times in life, I'm always donating things, whether it be kids' clothes or what have you. So, you can transition and do those steps. Probably becomes more prevalent once you hit the 50s, 60s type of stage. If you're choosing to downsize, I would say that's another period of life. If you're moving from a big home to a smaller home and you're just not going to have enough, as much space as you once had, and you're not going to use the same furniture or this and that, that's a great time to kind of go through, make an inventory of what you have and what you really want to keep for your own lives to, maintain your happiness, and then transition the rest via donation or gifting. You could also sell it, by the way. I've been a fiduciary on a couple of matters recently, although I don't take on that role very often. And we did some auctions, which was super interesting process where, collectibles and things that were taken in by the family over many years were sold at auction. It was a really cool process, and other people who were going to enjoy those things were able to buy them. Also, if you are heading into a serious part of your life where you're dealing with some sort of chronic illness or capacity issues, and hey, I'm not going to be traveling as much anymore. I'm not going to be, on the ski slopes or doing this or that. When life shifts, right, and you have more of a focus on other things such as your health, the superfluous items that really aren't going to pertain to you anymore could be gifted, donated, or sold. You may want to consider transitioning assets for either tax or Medicaid purposes, right? So we do this all the time as part of our goals and assistance to clients is strategic gifting, right? You might want to transition your home into a trust and things like that, which we talk about all the time. That's technically gifting assets away, but in a strategic way to help for either look back period and or other means. But I would say the following rule is a good rule of thumb to always follow, which is if it's no longer useful, meaningful, or beneficial to you, consider letting it go, right? Doesn't matter how old you are. You could be in your 20s, 30s. You have something that you got 10 years ago and you say, I'm not using this thing anymore. Get rid of it some way. All right. The goal is, of course, though, not to rush, right? Start early, figure it out, have a plan, and That way you've not left others in the lurch of figuring out what to do with your things. So, as a reminder, I'm Valerie Zammitti of Zammitti Law. We're an estate planning practice in New York and New Jersey. If you do need help in either estate planning or the administration after the loss of a loved one, you can reach out to us for a free consultation at yourplanningattorney.com. We truly hope that you've learned something new here today. And please don't forget, share and take care. See ya.